Hi, it's Shadeen, your keynote speaker on intercultural creativity, neurosomatic creativity, and prismatic leadership. I am in New York City. We are at the 79th United Nations General Assembly talking about brain health, brain capital, and the brain economy.
The key point is that our brains are in the red, have lots of brain health challenges, lots of stress, that the cost of mental and neurological conditions is $2.2 trillion to the global economy. It is staggering.
We have gathered the top thought leaders, neuroscience, policymakers together in one room from around the world talking about how do we increase the brain health and brain capital of our citizens.
And nature capital, and I talked at the beginning of nature capital, it's probably the way to think, to transform our economies very quickly into carbon neutrality.
The environment affects your brain health, social interactions. What was one main gem you got from yesterday or the day before?
So yesterday I was so excited to see that we are talking about the places that our human form occupies. So whether that is our home, our school, our workplace environment, this can have a huge impact on your brain health, both in terms of your mental health and in terms of your physiological health, meaning whether or not you may or may not progress towards having a neurological condition. And the global buy-in to that from the world of architecture, from the world of design, to see society actually engaging in what people need, because you have to remember that 1 in 3 people across the world, no matter where you are, will be affected by a neurological condition in your lifetime. So this is applicable to everybody. If it's not you, it's someone very close to you.
But if you look at the room right now, let's not go anywhere else. If you look at the room, there is a power dynamic. I'm here on a high chair. We are here, so we have the power. Our thoughts are going to you. You are in rows. You don't have the power right now. If in a second we reorganized and made this circular, we would change the dynamic in the room. Right? So places dictate power. Places give power, places take power. And places do it invisibly all the time, and we don't even realize it's being done. They're implicit orchestrators of power that we don't see today. And any organization you go to, any convening, any place, you can see a dynamic there. So that's where I would start, is they're invisible to us, even though they are the most visible manifests.
We're looking at how brain health is affected at every stage of life. We have speakers on pediatrics.
Here, right? Like this is our sweet spot for what we can be doing to preserve brain capital, promote, right, like positive brain health further down the line.
The idea of agreeing to inflict irreversible damage to our children's brains is just patently absurd, right? Yet, as a society, we've let smartphones and social media platforms do exactly that, turning our children literally into crash dummies.
So the question is, what skills will they need to be able to function in a global economy when they graduate? And what skills do their teachers need so that they can prepare young people to transition into a global economy?
So at the Institute for Health Metrics, we are a population health institute. And so we're really looking at brain health across the life course. And so in the talks yesterday, they were talking about making more of a life course approach and how we think about brain health interventions. And so the work that I do is focused on understanding disease burden across the life course. And so how we can start to preserve the brain from birth.
We also are looking at how do we invent and innovate new drugs and new therapies and new solutions to combat the rising numbers of dementia, Alzheimer's, and other neurodegenerative diseases.
On the one hand, we are talking about the physical fitness. On the other hand, we also have to look for the cognitive fitness. And for cognitive fitness, learning a music, learning a new language, learning a new instrument, that is very, very important. Stay connecting with the with the world, whether you are children, grandchildren, parents, and having that kind of environment which is socially very active is very important for the cognitive fitness, and that is why we are talking about now cognitive reserve, so that if something happens to your brain should be able to adapt to the challenge which has faced. If has a stroke or something else has come up, so the cognitive reserve will come into play. It's just like a bank balance.
And we're looking at how does brain health and how does brain capital affect creative thinking? How does our cultural influences increase the creativity so we can come together and create those innovative ideas to build the brain capital in every nation around the world?
So I think the big aha for me is seeing that we're at this seemingly pivotal time where there's a critical mass of interest and recognition of the direness of the situation. And I think to me, instead of making me feel pessimistic, that actually restores some hope and makes me think that this is kind of a key time in history where we're really going to be able to look back and say that we were able to make a difference.
I've had the pleasure of meeting and giving our books, My Brain, My Beautiful Brain, to the commissioner of Rhode Island, the governor of New York, and other executive directors and leaders around the nation. But we also gave our books to a few kids on the subway on the number 6 headed to the Bronx, really looking at serving everyone to give them information about how to improve their brain capital.
The Yaoundé Declaration builds primarily on the instruments that already exist. We started by thinking about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the right to live and the right to have well-being.
This movement is led by a lot of associations collaborating and coming together. Some of the main ones is the Brain Capital Alliance, led by Dr. Harris I, and also the European Federation of Neurological Associations.
So we are a Brussels-based organization, and we came to New York in the context of the UN General Assembly because we want to put brain health, and brain science on the map globally. So hopefully we are hoping to see a resolution of the UN on the topic. But what was really interesting yesterday, and hopefully today again, with our co-conveners, we managed to really put it on the map and tell the story of why it is important, how it is impacting society, and what are the challenges that we need to address and the potential benefits that society is yielding in investing into neuroscience.
India's here, many countries from Africa are here, Ireland's here, Australia, Canada, just people from around the world saying we need to talk and be aware of brain health. The numbers are rising drastically, so we need to help our aging population, but we also need to strategically prepare our developmental population in the early child development. So how do we get this information into schools, into infant and nursery areas, and into all the areas to get people excited about brain health?
I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. Watch and you'll see. We're going to be a positive brain economy.